Miss United States 2011, Ashley Smith, is a graduate of Old Dominion University in Norfolk with a Bachelor of Science in Communications and is currently pursuing a master's degree in journalism from Regent University. Her personal platform is breast cancer. It's not just hereditary. She has been active in promoting it throughout the community. Ashley has received several prestigious awards, including selection for the 2012 edition of Who's Who among American colleges and universities, and being selected as one of Inside Business Magazine's top 40 under 40 honorees for 2011. She is a member of several organizations and has been a keynote speaker for services, schools, and community programs. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming Miss United States 2011, Ashley Smith.
Good afternoon, everyone. Is everyone enjoying themselves today? Yes. Isn't this just a beautiful venue and a lovely affair? Absolutely. I have had such a wonderful time mixing and mingling and getting to speak with some of you all, and I'm thankful that all of you have come out on a Saturday afternoon to support such a worthy cause, Girls with Goals Alliance. I think before I could say anything further, first of all, I of course have to give honor to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I believe He's the reason why we're all here, so we certainly need to recognize Him. And also, I really want to have a round of applause for the organizers and the creators of this wonderful event, Ms. Tina Lee and Ms. Dolores Perry and Mr. Melvin Perry. They worked so hard, absolutely. You know, it's good to see when people give of themselves to see other people succeed. I can say that I am certainly a testament to that. My mother is here. Mom, stand, look pretty. I like to take her with her wherever I go, not just because I need pictures of my events, not just because of that. And I don't, that's not it. No, I like to take her because I like for young women to see that not only do we need role models, but it's also imperative for us to be role models to other people as well. You don't have to be a mother or an aunt or a sister or a cousin. It can just be a friend. It can just be someone that you meet that needs you, that needs your support, that needs your care and your time. So I like to bring her with me because, yes, she is my mom, but she gives of her time so that I can succeed and so that I can be better and that I can be stronger. So I think it was really appropriate that she's here today, and I'm thankful for her being here. Today we're going to talk a little bit. I'm not going to, be before you very long. This food was amazing, was it not? Absolutely amazing. But I know when you have good food, that means you're running out of time because people are like, all right, wrap it up. Get a little tired. So I'm certainly not going to be before you way too long, but I do want to talk about some things that I've learned along my journey as Miss United States about not only setting goals for yourself, but also how to set those goals. I think that our young women are always asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? Do you want to be a lawyer or a doctor or a singer or a dancer or a teacher? And we kind of narrow it down and we figure out what we want to do and why we want to do it. But how many times do we actually get asked, how are you going to do that? How are you going to be successful? What steps do you have in mind to get to your ultimate goal? So that's what we're going to talk about today. So first, before we get started, this is for everybody in the room, not just for the young women, but this is for everyone, because even if you do feel like you're successful at this point in your career, in your life, in your different accomplishments, you might have a little goal. You might have something small that you want to do. So at this point, I need everyone to take a minute and think about the goal that you want to achieve. Okay? Everybody has to pick a goal because it's going to be important while we're talking. I want you to think about that goal and really, really marinate on it as we talk. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of examples of some things. Just I see a couple faces like, I'm not worried about. I'm not worried about nothing. Yeah. So we're going to think about little things. Me, my little goal is drinking more water. How many of us need to drink more water? How many of us need to cut out them sodas? Right, okay. You know, I'm trying to clear up my skin a little bit. So, that's my little goal. How about exercising a little bit every day? You don't have to go to the gym. You can put on your tennis shoes and walk up and down them steps. That's how I got ready for Miss United States, up and down my stairs, and that works. Let me tell you, it's not fun, but it does work. That's another little goal. How about starting your own business? I see some very talented people in here. So I know some of y'all women can cook. And maybe you've been interested in starting a catering business or a restaurant. I mean, those sort of things. Now, and we're looking at some of our younger women. What do you want to be when you grow up? What is a passion of yours? Are you looking at being a lawyer? Are you looking at being a doctor? I want everyone to think of these things and have these things in mind as we get started with ways to get to those goals instead of just setting these goals for yourself and walking away from them and not taking the little steps that it takes to get to them. So the first thing, and I'm going to leave you with just a few principles that I found just getting ready for the Miss United States competition and surviving this year. That is very stressful, it is very daunting, but getting through this year, I'm just going to leave you with a few of these principles so that you can possibly use these in your goal setting from day to day. And the first one is this. It's going to be a serious one. Drop the attitude. All right? I can tell you that the most successful people that I've run into, it's because of their humility. It's because they don't throw it in your face that they're successful. It's because they don't wag dollars in front of your face. It's because they're willing to take what they've learned and what they know and to share it with you. They don't try to keep it to themselves. They don't get upset when you ask questions and when you want to learn what they've done to be so successful. Drop the attitude. People are so much more willing to help you and to be there for you when you smile. So let's try that. I want everyone to smile at somebody. Does that feel good, y'all? Doesn't that feel good? Look at all these teeth. I thought my crown was shining, but I was glaring. You feel so much better when you smile. Is that a quote from Kirk Franklin? Oh, Lord. I didn't mean to do that, but see what happens. But you pick up these positive habits and you take them with you throughout life, and you never know who could use a smile like that. You never know what people have been through, and oftentimes I've encountered people that aren't very happy, that do get upset, that do get frustrated, and they don't want to pass that smile along. And that is in those times of weakness for you where you need to smile even harder back at them. You never know a person's story. You never know what they've been through that day, what they're going through in their lives. And we cannot continue as a people to judge one another based off of one instance, based off of one impression. It is our responsibility to share our love that we have within ourselves with other people, and I can guarantee you that that will make you more successful in life. So that's the first thing. No attitudes, happy faces all the time. It works. I smile on every picture. Doesn't matter when. Every picture I smile, because you want people to remember that you are a happy person. That's the first thing. Second thing is something that I believe that a lot of people are guilty of when they really have a passion for something, and they hit pitfalls and they don't necessarily get there the first time around. So this is something I want to speak to you all about, and that is this. Focus on your plans today and your plans tomorrow. Don't focus on why you failed yesterday. I think we're all guilty of saying the coulda, shoulda, wouldas every single day. Oh, I wish I had married that man. Oh, I wish I had got that job. Oh, I wish I had moved to California when I had a chance, just got away from all of y'all. We say this stuff all the time, and we don't focus on how we can now take what we've learned and apply it to today and apply it to tomorrow. We're so busy living in the 60s and the 70s that we're letting the new millennium pass us by. And for you young people, there are so many times where you're not going to get good grades, where you're not going to make the cheerleading team, where you're not going to be accepted by that group of friends that you wanted, and you're going to dwell on that for a long time. But I can tell you that dwelling in one place means you're not moving. It means you're not going forward. It means you're not achieving or attaining the goals that you're really meant to achieve. I've been competing in pageants for 7 years. I started when I was a junior in high school. That was my first pageant. And I can't tell you how many pageants I've done since then where I didn't get anything, but I did this pageant, all I got is this lousy t-shirt. And that's all I walked home with. And there were so many times where I wanted to give up. I started to believe that I wasn't pretty. I started to believe that I would never be in the right shape to win a pageant, that I would never be intelligent enough, that I would never have enough accomplishments. And instead of saying I never will, I just went and got what I didn't have at the time. If I didn't feel that my resume was long enough, I added more stuff. If I didn't feel that I was in enough shape, I went to the gym more. I changed my eating habits. Instead of going for that burger and fries, I got the salad. These are goals that we can achieve and that we can attain, and we need to stop making excuses for why we're not being successful when we know what it takes to be successful. The reason I believe why we fail, and I would never take back a year of competing in any of the pageants I've ever done where I didn't win, the reason why we fail is so we can learn. And the reason why we fail is because there are other things out there for us that we're meant to get to, but we have to jump over these hurdles first. We have to get over these obstacles first. And once we get over those obstacles is when we can be successful. All right? So that's the second thing. Don't focus on what happened yesterday. Focus on today and focus on tomorrow. The third thing, develop a plan of action. It is so important that you write down step by step what you need to do to achieve your goals. If it is getting better grades, young ladies, the first step is maybe I can't go out with my friends tonight. Maybe that's the first step. And then after that, it's focusing a little bit more on studying at night, maybe switching from 30 minutes to 45 minutes. And then later on, it's from 45 minutes to an hour. And before you know it, A's and B's are taking the place of those C's and D's. And you've reached your goal without even feeling like it was a lot of work. Why? Because you cut it in half, you cut it into pieces, you cut it into sections, and you focused on that section first, and then you went to the next level. I think so many of us, I think young people as well as more experienced people, we're so focused on we want to get to the end goal that we don't want to do the stuff that it takes in the middle to get there. It means very early mornings and very late nights. You know, it means that you're going to have arguments with people and you're going to disagree. You know, it does mean that you're not going to be the party person, the person that everyone loves all the time. Sometimes you're the person that has to set everybody straight because you have a goal and you have a passion and you're going to do what you need to do to get to that. It's about setting goals. And it does not necessarily mean that it has to be something big. For me, I knew I had to cut soda out, right? So I went from drinking 5 things of soda a day down to 4. I think I'm doing very well. Thank you very much. I got a long ways to go, but I'm taking it in sections. Sections, see? Sections. And if you realize, and that's the thing that I love about developing a plan of action, when you do it in sections and in grids and in small pieces, it's easier to stick with your goal when you finally get there. How many of us have seen these commercials with these, you know, lose weight fast pills and patches and smoothies and shakes? How many of those work? None of them work. But trust me, I tried all of them. And none of them worked for me because, yes, you might lose 10 pounds in 3 weeks. Not very healthy, first of all. But you did not set up a healthy lifestyle for yourself. You're still eating lasagna and fried chicken and wearing a patch on your arm to make you lose weight. That makes no sense. We need to change the way that we think about our lives. We cannot just go from 0 to 60 in 2 seconds. We live in a very microwave society that wants things hot right now instead of putting them in the stove and waiting an hour for the juices to marinate and to get all through the skin and the chicken. And it's so much better when it's in the stove, isn't it? When you put it in the microwave, it's just nasty. And it dries out and it's gross. And that is what I try to use in my mind every day. That sticking it in the stove and waiting 1 or 2 or 3 hours is so much better than putting it in the microwave. And we need to take that with us everywhere we go. It means it's going to take a lot longer to get to where we want to be. But thank goodness we're not where we used to be. Let's focus on that. Okay? All right, so that was step 3. We only got 2 more. I told you I wasn't going to be long, but I was going to hit you hard, okay? Now, the 4th thing that I really want to focus on that I believe is one of the reasons why I was so excited to work with Girls with Goals Alliance is because the 4th thing that you need to do when you're trying to set a goal, no matter what it is to recruit others that support you. I can't tell you growing up how many people told me I was stupid for ever thinking I was going to be Miss Anything. That because I was black, I would never win. That because I wasn't tall enough, I would never win. That because I wasn't smart enough, I would never win. There were so many things that they already put in my mind that limited me, that if I had bought into that, I would have never pushed myself further. But I thank God every day for people in my life that told them, look, leave her alone. Let her achieve the goals that she wants to achieve, and if she fails, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. You know, I think a lot of times, especially in our community, we are so afraid of our loved ones not succeeding and what's going to happen when they don't succeed, and they're going to be so upset and so sad and so disappointed that we discourage them from even trying, you know? And I know that sometimes it's coming from a good place, but we have to often stop ourselves from doing that. Just because your son is 5'6" doesn't mean he can't be the best basketball player on the team. Don't tell him not to try now, and then be upset when he doesn't want to try other things. Just because your daughter is, 5'3" doesn't mean that she can't be a model. I was told I could never model, and I got modeling gigs lined up right now. Why? Because I believe I can. I'm not walking runway, y'all, because I'm short. I'm almost the same height as y'all sitting down right now. So I'm not doing runway stuff, but there are other options out there. You can model for catalogs, and you can model for, different, lines of clothing that are coming out, and perfume. I do perfume modeling. I don't know how that works, because, you can't really smell it, through the picture. But I do perfume modeling, too. There are ways to do it, You have to go out there and support each other. And ladies, please recruit people that are on your team. Do not bring negative people into your life just because you want their acceptance. And I know it's hard for you to see right now because you're in school and the most important thing in your school right now is to be popular. I get it. I was one of the least popular people in my school. I was the girl in the back of the class that everyone kind of knew I was there but didn't know my name and didn't know anything about me. And I was the one that didn't like to talk to people, and I just kind of set my head in the books, and maybe I talked to my teachers at lunch, but I didn't really have anybody to hang out with. I was that girl. And I could have let that take over my life, and I could have carried that with me into college and into my life after school, but I didn't. And because I stepped out on faith and believed that God was going to make it all right, He changed everything around for me. He took me from believing that I was completely unattractive to believing that I would never be anything successful to being Miss United States. And that's why I'm here today. And it's not to say that I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread, because I know I'm not. But my whole reason for telling you that is I was sitting right where you're sitting today, where you're frustrated with school, where you're frustrated with your peers, and you're trying to live the right life, and they're trying to get you to go this way, and you're trying to pull them that way, and it's difficult, and you don't know what to really do in this sort of situation. And I'm telling you, if you set a goal and you recruit the right people, you will be okay. You will be okay. It's not going to be fun, and it's not going to be exciting sometimes, but in the end, it works out for the absolute best. So recruit those people. The last thing that we're going to talk about that I believe is really important when you're setting goals, because a lot of times when we're setting goals, we forget to do this. I need everyone in here, when you set a goal, to remember to reward yourself. When I won Miss United States, I immediately started doing things. I was like, I only have a year. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to do this. And before I knew it, I was so tired I didn't know what to do with myself. I was starting to get drained. The bags under my eyes are starting to puff out. And, I'm not walking as fast as I used to. And I realized I was not taking time to replenish myself. So I encourage everyone out here, when you set a goal for you, It's gonna get hard, and we all know that. We all know those who have set goals before, you know that there are times when you are going to get extremely frustrated, extremely challenged, and extremely tired. You need to do something to rejuvenate yourself. How many of us have cell phones in here? Everybody, right? Okay, almost everybody. What happens when you've used your cell phone, you've been on the internet, you've been texting, and you've been tweeting and Facebooking all day? What do we do at the end of the day? We recharge our cell phones. I need you to take that same energy that you use to recharge that cell phone so it can be just as productive every day as you need it to be, and recharge yourself. We need to take out time to recharge ourselves. For me, I like to go get some ice cream. That's just me, okay? It doesn't mean that's what you have to do. Maybe you like to go shopping. Maybe you like to go out with your girlfriends and just have some me time. Or, maybe you like to spend a little bit more time reading your Bible or going to church or Bible study or whatever it is. Find something, even if it's just quiet time, sending everybody out the house and cutting off all the lights and just going to sleep, taking a nap in the middle of the day. We need to get back to that because we're overdoing it a little bit. And what good are you going to be if you can't get where you need to be? So please take time to get out there and do what you need to do, but simultaneously care for yourself. Don't overdrain yourself. All right? So those are my 5 things to setting goals. What I do want to do is leave you with just a very interesting little tidbit that I believe when I first heard this, it was very powerful to me when I was thinking about setting goals and going back to that last point that I talked to you about, which was recruiting others to support you. Sometimes we get confused on who's really on our team and who isn't, and who we need to be there and who we don't need to be there. So I'm going to leave you with this because I heard this a while back and it stayed with me, and I think it's really important today, especially talking about Girls with Goals Alliance. If you've heard it, just play along, just pretend like you haven't heard it and just give me the surprised face, just roll with me. And if you haven't, please take this with you wherever you go because it really did something for me. It's called the 30-second quiz. Have we heard of this? Yes, okay. It's so much more fun when you haven't heard it, okay? Now, this is a very interesting quiz. You don't need a pen and paper. I'm not asking you to do that. I just need you to think. I need you to focus, and I need you to think about these questions that I'm about to ask you, okay? All right, 2 sets of 5 questions. Here's the first set, all right? Raise your hand if you can name the 5 wealthiest people in the world. Okay, I don't see none. You got the 5 wealthiest? You got all 5 of them? Get out of here. Really? Okay, so we have one person who can name the 5 wealthiest people in the world, okay? All right, we'll come back to that. Anybody else? That's it? Okay, all right. Question 2. Name the last 5 Heisman Trophy winners. You don't have the Heisman Trophy winners? What? 5, last 5. No? Nobody? Not even up here in front? You're killing it. Okay. All right, let's move on. Question 3. Name the last 5 winners of the Miss United States contest. I'll give you 1. Anybody got the other 4? No? Okay. Question 4. Name 10 people who have won the Nobel or Pulitzer Prize. You got all 10? All right, we got one person with all 10. One person. Okay, all right. One person. Last of the 5 questions in this little series, okay? Name the last 5 Academy Award winners for Best Actor and Best Actress. Last 5. Don't give me 1. I know everybody got 1. Halle Berry, Denzel. 5? No? Nobody? Okay. Wait, I see your hand back there. 1? Okay, we got 1. All right, so I just asked you all 5 questions. There's several hundred people in here. And for all 5 questions, we had 3 people who could answer those questions. Okay? Let's try this one. All right? How many people can name 3 teachers who aided your journey through school? Oh, okay. All right, well, how about this one? How about naming 3 friends who helped you through a difficult time? Oh, snap. That's more than 3 hands. All right, I'm gonna give you guys a hard one. Here we go. Name 5 people who have taught you something worthwhile. Wow, okay. 2 more questions. Think of a few people who have made you feel appreciated and special. And the last question, think of 5 people with whom you enjoy spending time. Does anybody see the difference between that first 5 and that second 5? And the whole point of me asking you guys these questions is that the people who really make a difference in your life aren't the ones with the most accolades. They aren't the ones that made the most money. They aren't the ones in the news. They aren't the ones that have the most flash and the most fabulousness, because I'm going to tell you now, awards tarnish, recognition fades, and the news will only focus on you for about 5 minutes so they go to the next story. The ones who make a difference in your lives are the ones who made a personal and powerful impact on you. And if we look around the room at all the successful people that are in here, every last one of them raised their hand on that last 5 set of questions because they had people in their lives that invested in them. So I leave you with this. I challenge every last one of you in this room to go and be a mentor. It doesn't mean that you have to necessarily sign up with one with your name on a dotted line, although I'm sure Girls with Goals Alliance would enjoy that. But it means taking somebody under your wing. It could be your child. It could be your neighbor's child. It could be your best friend's friend's friend. It doesn't matter. It means taking somebody with you on this journey called life, because it is hard and it is stressful. And Lord knows none of us who are successful would have been able to do it without the help and the encouragement of somebody else. So please take this time to remember what we were given and what we were blessed with, and take that and give it to somebody else. God bless you.